just going to focus on Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at Norway. Because of its location, which is far north, it does have a northern climate, meaning that it is relatively cold there. The population in Norway, it's not very populated, 4.6 million people, and most of those people live along the southern and west coasts because of warm winds brought from the Atlantic Ocean. So most people are living on the area that I am pointing to on your screen right now. Average life expectancy, relatively healthy population, 80.8 years of age. In comparison with the United States comes in at about 79 years of age. Okay, some features when we look at Norway. Its coastal regions are long and jagged and are given the name fjords, which are large areas sculpted by ice. It is a relatively wealthy country because of its oil and natural gas deposits beneath the North Sea. And also in those seas, there's another important export that they can find, those being fish. It's interesting, though, in 1994, the nation of Norway voted not to join the EU or the European Union. However, this is strongly debated. They wanted to maintain control of their own economy rather than joining up with the EU. Norway also has a strong educational system. Okay, jumping ahead to Sweden, it is a wealthy industrial country as well. It does have many natural resources, those being iron ore and pine forest. However, only 8% of the nation's land is really good enough for farming, but they do, because of some technology that they use in farming techniques, they do have plenty of food for their people. Sweden, what's interesting about it, it is known as a welfare state, meaning it uses a high tax rate in order to provide services for its sick or needy, so really to provide for everybody in the country. The life expectancy, not surprisingly, has increased there as well at 81.4 years of age. Its population is 9.302 million people, and it has been increasingly attractive for people to move to Sweden from other countries. So consider why that might be, but it's not really surprising if you consider that if somebody moves in, they'll be given the luxuries of a welfare state. And it is a member of the European Union. Okay, moving ahead to Finland. Most of Finland's wealth, another Scandinavian country, comes from its huge forest. Because of their forest that they do have, they are able to export, not surprisingly, paper and wood. It is a member of the European Union. Its population comes in at about 5.2 million people. That's a 2009 estimate. And its life expectancy is 79.7. So all in all, the Scandinavian countries are relatively wealthy nations, and their economies are strong. And I just put this graph up here. This shows how much or what percentage of a country's total budget or GDP, total amount of trade money, is spent on education. And what's interesting, in Finland spends more money than the United States per person or per in their budget in terms of a percentage than the United States. So I just thought that was interesting. And with that being said,